This is the Immaterial Gamers podcast. Hello, how's it all going? I hope you're all fine.
Oh, I'm nice. My exam week just finally ended. I'm finally free from my shackles for a few weeks.
The shackles of education for a small amount of time.
Yes.
Fair dues. Right, based on the fact that I'm looking at our WhatsApp channel while we're doing it, we are the deck of cards that consist of this podcast, and my name is Ryan. I'm a diamond. Based on that one, I would say I'm the king of diamonds. And with me this week, I've got Duncan, who says dibs on heart. Is there a particular heart you're looking for? The Jack of Hearts, maybe?
Jack of Hearts sounds fine to me.
Yeah, perfect. Okay then. And then we've got the good old Ace of Spades. We've got Dariusz.
Hello, everyone.
And finally, because he didn't want a suit, we got the Joker of the podcast. It's Stefan.
Yay!
This is easily the worst hand of poker you could possibly have.
So it's the weird poker game. You know, you'd be walking out without your shirt, definitely. And in this weather,
I don't remember playing strip poker.
No, not just strip poker. It's just normal poker. You lost all your money, you lose your shirt.
I'm sorry, I've
never entered a poker game with my shirt on.
I'd love to see a Las Vegas charity shop that consists of all the shirts that they've had to take from the.
I'm sorry, but if I was going to give you my shirt, I might as well give you the rest of my clothes I'm wearing.
Okay, yeah.
Walks out of the casino stark naked.
Yeah, just Caesar's Palace.
Just grab a leaf off one of the plants as you're going past us to cover your front. I'm out.
You only need a leaf, huh?
Hey, depends on the leaf.
I suppose if it's like a palm leaf, that's like, whoa. But like a maple leaf?
No. Just because the maple...
It's a little piece of mistletoe.
Maple leaf's on my butt.
Oh man, right. Well, now that everyone's got that weird picture in the red, let's move on with the games that we've been playing this week, or the game we've been playing. And I want to go first this time. Can I go first?
Why not?
Go first then, Ryan. What have you been playing? To be honest, I've not seen you online.
Well, it's because I've been just...
Oh, you've been, Michael, I don't know what you have been playing.
I've just been doing, well,
apart from Tail,
a social media cleanse, shall we say, for a week. Or a social cleanse for a week, just to get my head back into it. But I've been using that time to play Tales of Berseria, but I talked about that last week. What I actually was playing was the new game from Supergiant. Me and Dariusz touched on it last week, and that is the game called Hades. It's a new isometric RPG / roguelike game.
Oh, hold on.
From the guys behind Bastion and Transistor and all that. And what was that there, Steph?
I'm looking it up. I want to know what I'm on about.
Yeah. So it was one of the opening games that was on sale on the new Epic Games store that we also mentioned last week. Yeah. And it's nice to go through the Epic Games store, look and see Fortnite, and then scroll on by and buy Hades.
Fortnite's free.
Yeah, but still, it's free to download, but it didn't stop me from just scrolling on by. I may have to do something at one point on that. All these games that I say, yeah, no, you would not catch me dead playing it, and then just do some videos of me playing them, just because.
You could title this series "Caught Dead."
Yeah, Caught Dead Playing. Yeah, so.
Notimagain is caught dead playing ...
Yeah. Episode 1: Hunters in World of Warcraft.
Shade.
Sorry, Matt. Anyway, yeah, so Hades. Nice little storyline in it. You are the son of Hades in the underworld, and you are pissed off. You find out that your mum's not actually your mum, and she's just pissed off to the middle ground, Earth, if you will. None of the Olympus gods know where she is. Hades is really annoyed that she left you, and you're annoyed because you didn't realise your mum that you didn't know you had was still alive and well. So you want to escape the House of Hades. You want to escape the underworld and find Mummy Dearest. And the gameplay starts with you mid an escape. You learn the basic controls, how to dodge, how to attack, and how to die. And yeah.
Do you get good at that one yet?
Oh yeah, very good. I've managed to actually get an item now in the main character's bedroom. I think it's called Zagarius or something like that. Some name beginning with Z. The hero of the piece. Scrying pool that tells you how many times you've attempted to escape, how many monsters you've killed. So that's all well and good. That adds up by 1 every so often. And basically it does Supergiant's good way of telling narrative. Everything's interactive. It doesn't sit there and fill you with lore and stuff until the point where you've found it and you need to. All the characters have been put in there. There's your adopted mother / person who's given you the ability to upgrade of Nyx. Hades is just a bureaucrat sat behind a table who's just really pissed off that you keep trying to escape, even though he's told you multiple times you can't. That doesn't stop you. Cerberus, the loyal 3-headed dog. You've got Achilles as your combat instructor, and you've got a skeleton dude as your literal training dummy. And yeah, the idea is that you go through a chain, good old classic roguelike fare. Limited health, it's not always restorable. Various rooms where you end up in like arenas of combat, and once you then complete said arena, you then get the reward that was listed on the door that you entered to get it. And yeah, it's like there's a lot of characterization, classic Supergiant stuff there really. And yeah, I'm having fun with it, and the fact that it's actually in early access at the moment, and it seems to be a lot more functional than a lot of games that are in early access, mainly also due to the fact that Supergiant have given a countdown timer every time they release a new major update. They've just got it in the bottom of the screen. They know their roadmap. They know what they're doing.
That's good.
And yeah, it's all good. If any little bug fixes, they just tell it. But any major stuff, they've got on this roadmap that's going there. To the point where they barely. I think I mentioned this last week. They didn't even announce that this game was coming out. No. Epic had just had opened the store up, and it was just like, oh yeah, by the way, this is it.
I've heard this game before.
Yeah, but gonna keep an eye on that, because that's it's fun, and once it's complete and feature complete, then it's probably going to be a really, really nice game. And I would probably rank it up there close to Transistor, really, in my list of Supergiant games.
Do you think Transistor is better than Bastion?
I, personally, for me, the way the story went, yeah. I mean, they're all very close, and being at the bottom of the list is not necessarily, is not a bad thing by any means. Every single one of the Supergiant games that are out there, all 4 of them, so Transistor, Bastion, Hades, and Pyre. Yeah, they're all good. It's just, personally for me, Transistor's the one that's up there, and then it's like Hades and Bastion are pretty close together.
Pyre, maybe that's my issue about Transistor, because I never completed it.
I mean, I would suggest completing Transistor, at least going through the story the first time round, because then it adds like extra modes. Well, it adds like a new game plus-ish mode that's worth doing. But I mean, I like the story,
Oh yeah, definitely.
With what it is, and I guess that's the thing when you got a Supergiant game, that the story part of it is down. It's done, and then it's just the success of melding it into the gameplay that they're trying to get you to play as well. But yeah, that was me, and that was my fun week with Hades. So let's go with Dariusz to see what you've been playing this week.
Why me?
Because usually on a multi-person podcast, it's usually Duncan or Steph I end up throwing to the wolves first.
Now it's your turn.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, this week I've been quite busy at work, so not much free time. Planning on catching up today and tomorrow. But PlayStation Network have a nice Christmas sale.
Yeah.
So yeah, pick up a new Spiderman. Well, Insomniac Spiderman game.
Ah, the one that we were talking about last week.
So I finally bought it.
Okay.
Finally played it for like 5 hours. Quite like it. Quite good.
I've heard lots of good things about it.
And yes, as we were discussing it last week, it does fit in those terms. It is a fun game. It have a good story. However, it's not a game of the year.
Yeah, this is on the fact that we were talking about the Game Awards last week, and whether it would be classed as sort of Game of the Year material. We went on the idea that it wasn't, because just because of the fact that while it had everything, it was a pacing problem that we were talking about.
Even though we never played it, and now while playing it, I'm still standing by what we said last week.
Yeah, I see. So to all those people who didn't say, "Oh, you can't really say that without playing it," well, we did.
Well, we did now. I did.
Now, is this the
Your
Spider-Man
speculation became a premonition.
Yeah.
Is this a Spider-Man game that kind of starts off really like epic Spider-Man, and then you go back to being like his girlfriend?
Yes.
Is it? Oh, it's that one. I was just really not paying much attention and just got absorbed by something I was reading.
It's the Spider-Man that has been released recently.
Well, yeah, this is the one with the Mary Jane.
The instant slow down, hold back, and wait for you to need Spider-Man again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of that, saying there's a lot of pacing issues with that.
But the gameplay is nice and smooth. It's really taking big times from classic Batman games. So the combat is kind of very similar.
Yeah.
And
can we start to call that sort of combo chaining system now with the free flowing movement? Can we call that the Batman puncher?
Batman puncher.
So it's like each game. Yeah, the Arkham puncher. Yeah.
Wasn't it the same combat as for what was in Spider-Man for the GameCube?
I don't know. I never played Spider-Man for the GameCube.
Neither did I, but I know a lot of people have compared this to the Spider-Man in the GameCube.
Possibly. The person who could ask on that, and we could ask on that, is Dariusz.
I never played the GameCube, so I don't know.
But you say it definitely compares to the Rocksteady Arkham games, yeah.
Well, at least the combat.
Yeah, in combat. That's
combat wise, yeah, because the movement around the map is completely different. Because come on, you are a Spider-Man, isn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah, of course. No weird attempts at gliding as Batman. Just like
it's
going
smooth.
lower.
It is smooth.
The combat does look like it looks very Spider-Man-esque, just the way it's presented. What with a lot of flipping around, bouncing back and forth between different characters, throwing out a web while you're kicking somebody. It's the kind of thing that, if you're a fan of Spider-Man, you expect him to be able to do.
Yeah.
What with that Spidey sense and super reflexes and all that.
Yeah. And also, I had the pleasure to play on, I think that was Wednesday, with Stefan and our friend Dennis, a board game called Nemesis. Ah,
you've actually played it now.
Yeah.
Yes.
And does it hold true to what we were saying last week about it? Did it? With all your instructions, did it end up being the backstabby game that we thought it was?
We have not, and probably that's the issue. We have not played it the way it was designed. We played the fully co-op setup.
Right.
Mainly to learn the rules, etc., etc.
Basically, they didn't trust me. I got told when I came into this game, I've been told not to trust you. That's the first word Dennis said to me as we were pulling out the board game.
mean, yeah, anything with hidden agendas. I don't know why. It's like, honestly, I feel a lot of the time I wouldn't trust myself.
Oh, I'd
But
probably
that's, you know.
bugger myself up on a lot of things. It's like I'll probably lock myself in a room or something and go, and now from here I'm going to conquer the world.
Well, knowing how you are in games like Minecraft and Ark, I know you're the kind of person who will like very quietly work on a project for like 30 hours. That is basically your way of like moving away or turning or like running away from the rest of the group, and you just won't tell anyone until it's like all right, I'm moving to this house now.
I'm done. Who wants to move in? While you all move in, I move off somewhere else.
Yep, Stefan is just like he just like he builds houses that we move into, and then he moves out.
Stefan.
He builds houses for the purpose of
free of
moving out.
Immaterial gamers.
I'll just so annoy Danny. He seems to always get annoyed. I don't get why you do it because you knock it down and do like change it, and it's like, well, obviously I need to make it bigger. I needed more space. I wasn't just going to stick an extension on the end of it and go, that looks really good. No, I'd rather just build this whole room bigger. Let's just knock this wall down, this ceiling. We'll expand it upwards and expand it that way. Let's do that.
Yeah. Not these. I wouldn't say that you're not happy with what you do, but you always look at something and you go, oh, that's cool.
Oh yeah,
but it could be better.
Yeah, I always look at stuff and go, oh, that's really cool, but I could make it better by doing this and this. And then the next thing you know is the whole beginning of it's being scrapped and it's something completely different.
Fair dues, right. So before we move on then, Dariusz, I just want to know one last thing.
Yeah.
Is the puddle problem really that much of a problem?
Say again, sorry.
Is the lack of puddles in Spiderman
Oh, you
that
mean
much of a
Spiderman?
problem?
I don't say it.
Wow.
I do get
What's
it.
the puddle
Why? I do get it. Why it was an issue, etc.
I should rewind just very briefly on this. It was another case of what I could probably call Watchdog syndrome. A lot of the early gameplay footage of Spider-Man showed like raining and puddles everywhere and stuff like that. Stuff that wasn't in the final release.
Game.
But people were making a massive issue about it, even though the game was good. I just wanted to know if it was that much of an actual issue.
Who's the one who played that game and had the issue with the pigeons?
I had the problem with the pigeons. There was the it was a Tom Clancy game. What's
No,
Division? That's it.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah.
There's pigeons flying through buildings constantly. It's just like, where the hell am I? What is this? Like the freaking Animus? Like there's just a glitch in the Matrix that lets these birds fly through buildings whenever they want. It's just like they didn't even try to make this realistic. It's like, how am I supposed to be looking at this and not being 100% aware that I'm playing a video game in my house? Where is my immersion, damn it?
I just said don't look at the bloody birds and carried on doing what I was doing.
So just to finalize the Spider-Man thing.
Yep.
Yes, this is not the first game which was kind of reduced during the development.
No, of course.
But,
not. I mean, that's why I compared it to Watch Dogs, really.
I'm happy to having less puddles having steady frame rate than having few more extra puddles which don't really adding into the scene that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, if less puddles means better performance, then
Yeah, that's fair enough. But if they would be like removing certain objects, like don't know, something which is important for the gameplay, then yes,
you can
that
no
would be
longer
an
use
issue.
trash cans to throw them at people.
Yeah.
It's like 0 out of 10, worst game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't feel bad about not having that many puddles.
Yeah, it'd be like imagine if instead of taking out the puddles, they're like, yeah, we decided we don't want to have the Spidey sense mechanic. We think it was just too complicated. It's too glitchy.
Yeah,
so we decided to pull
exactly.
the whole mechanic. It's be like, oh, okay. So Spider-Man without the the Spidey sense, he's just man.
Yeah.
You can climb.
Marvel's
Shoot
Insomniac's
webs.
man.
Oh man, there's an episode title right there.
And final word on the note of the Nemesis.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've played like cooperative, I think we kind of lack of that tension between us. What's going on, what we have to do, etc.
I would have happily killed you both.
Exactly.
Even if you're on the same team.
I'm seriously looking forward to play it again when we gonna play it semi-co-op. So each one of us will have their own objectives.
Oh, good old hidden agenda style thing. I think I might pick that up on the PS Store while I'm at it as well at one point, maybe for a New Year thing. But anyway.
Yep.
Cool. Sorted. Cheers, Dariusz. Right.
Well, that whole board game thing would sure transition nicely into my bit.
Yeah, well, in that case, go Duncan.
So, speaking of physical board games.
Yes.
I've been playing a little bit more of that Combat Ready with my family this week.
Oh, yeah.
We've gotten a little bit more familiar with the game in that we're actually capable of keeping track of all the moving parts now. All
good.
120 of them. It's not really that much. It says that's an exaggeration, but there's a lot. There's a lot of components, a lot of bits. And so what we did this week, we ambitiously set out to try and complete a whole campaign. A campaign being a series of 3 villain encounters played back to back, where you keep persistent health, experience, and your deck that you build over time. And we beat it one night at a time instead of like all at once, because a campaign takes like 5 hours to complete from start to finish. And obviously we didn't have time to do that in one night, so we started off with Roman Torchwick. Pretty easy boss for the most part. He's pretty straightforward, not too hard. He does have one ability that can like kind of screw you over, where like if you don't beat his speed, he just immediately ends the round, and then the next player starts their track.
Oh.
So that sucks. But other than that, he's a pretty straightforward boss. Good starting point. Now we move on to Adam Taurus, who's the second villain. He's the tankiest villain. And the last time we played him, we actually died. And so part of the reason why we wanted to do the campaign is we found that fighting him raw, just like with a basic deck that we upgraded, within that session, we found it just a little bit too challenging.
Yeah. But if you sort of had that sort of advantage from facing Torchwick.
So essentially, if we fought Torchwick, gained some experience, grinded up our deck a little bit, we thought maybe we'd stand a better chance. He has one card that's like kind of ridiculous. So one of the mechanics in the game is that one of the objectives that you can have, one of the modifiers that you can put into play when you're fighting a villain, is that you can have each villain has their own set of like henchmen. With Roman Torchwick, he gets like the dudes with suits and sunglasses, his bodyguard henchmen guys. Adam Taurus obviously has members of the White Fang as his minions, and Cinderfalcon and Recruit Grimm.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of each round, like every duel, which is every run of the track on the board, he can summon up to 3 minions to fight for him, and you have to either deal with them and kill them, or if you don't, at the end of the duel, they'll attack the active hero for unblockable damage. Right. So you have to kind of manage that. Now, the one thing about that is that you can stop them from doing that if you use your ultimate attack. If you use your ultimate attack, then they don't do their damage. It just ends the duel, full stop. So, you might try to implement a strategy where you ignore that in the minions if you don't think that you need to deal with them just yet. But what's dangerous about that is Adam has this card that as soon as it gets played, regardless of whether it hits or misses, he tells all the White Fang members that are currently active to attack the next player in rotation, like the one who's not active. Which, if there's 4 minions in play, for example, could be like 8 damage out of 14 that you start with, and it's like, oh, okay. So if you have like 8 or less health, it could just like instantly wipe out your team.
No.
And it's just like, oh, that's a problem. So that's what killed us. That's what killed us last time. Is all of a sudden, Adam was fighting me as Weiss, I think. Or maybe it was my sister as Penny. Whatever. He was fighting someone, and all of a sudden he turns around and points at my mom, who was playing as Blake. Go figure, coincidentally. And he's like, "Get him!" And fucking 8 damage dealt to to Blake, and she died. So it was just me and my sister after that, and we wiped shortly thereafter. But this time around, it was better. We managed to defeat Adam the second time through, only by the skin of our teeth. I had about 10 health out of 14, so I was doing okay, but my mom and my sister only had like 4 health each. So we were a little scared about fighting Cinderfall. We were pretty certain that we were going to wipe on her.
Okay, and how did that go?
Well, things were looking pretty dire at first. We used her Emerald and Mercury objective, which basically puts Emerald and Mercury in as like a mini boss who has their own side deck that plays like a villain that can only fight the sideline characters. And if no one blocks them, if no one engages them in any way, they'll just deal whatever damages on their card to the active player unblockable. And that's every round, not every duel. So you really want to keep them occupied. So we started off doing okay. We were keeping them occupied. We whittled them down. We managed not to take too much damage. And then all of a sudden, she pulls out an event card, Cinderfall does, that stops us from healing for the rest of the game until one of us dies. And we were like, uh-oh. Because, like, everyone was down to, like, under 5 health at this point.
Oof.
So, if we were playing Pokemon, our health bars would be going, be-doop, be-doop, be-doop.
Oh, it's not what you need. You don't need to be always on the idea of, don't want to constantly be in dire danger for the entire time. But I guess it makes things a bit more exciting.
It does make things exciting.
If not stressful.
But we managed to kill Mercury and Emerald, which freed up our sideline players significantly and gave us some experience as well. She started with a force field, which gave her some extra health points that protected her from range damage, which, thinking back on it, I don't know if we really paid attention to the whole resistance to range damage mechanic very well. But that's neither here nor there. Either way, we got rid of our force field, got some more experience for that.
Cool.
And our strategy was basically just to get to the ultimate section of our board as frequently as we could, and just immediately use it, because we couldn't take any chances. And you know what? We did it. We killed her.
Good.
We managed to complete a whole 3-villain campaign that we constructed ourselves, and we didn't die even once.
Good. I see you're still having good fun with it. So,
yes, lots of fun. It's still a very good game, and I definitely recommend checking it out for those of you who have friends IRL who also like RWBY, who also like card games. It's a surprisingly narrow window now that I think about it, but even if you don't like RWBY, I think it's probably fun.
Fair dues. Right, in that case, we've got one last person. I was going to say
one less. It's just like, oh, you just...
I'm going home now.
Steph has been removed from the podcast.
Yeah, Stefan has left the podcast now. No, I mean, we've got one last person, and it's Stefan. What have you been playing, mate?
Oh, hold on.
What?
I was yawning.
Okay, sure.
I've been playing a game called Cardlife.
Ah, yeah, Cardlife. Is that the one that come from the
yeah, the humble
yes,
one.
the Humble Yogscast bundle.
Yes.
The Christmas bundle that they do every year.
It was one of the limited keys that I got.
Yeah.
I've not played much of it. I've only played about an hour or two, and I am struggling just to kill something in that game. I think the main of the game is don't run, just sit there and attack, because if you run, you're gonna die because you're not hitting it while it's hitting you. But it's basically like a Minecraft Ark type thing, but everything's made of paper or cardboard.
Okay.
You can
the Cardlife part of the game then.
Yeah,
it's a card life.
To customize your character at the beginning, you basically it's like, this is what your head should normally look like. Draw on it the way you want your head to look like, and then cut out your eyes, your mouth, and everything else. I made a Vegeta. I didn't mean to. I
Power level.
I was just doing it, and I just made Vegeta, and I was like, okay, that's Vegeta. And let's not do that. I didn't do these better, but I got into mining. It's pretty easy to understand for what I've got so far, but right now there's no story to it. There is a quest line, which I'm trying to do, but I need to kill something in the quest line, which I can't do. So I'm thinking, I'm just going to keep doing other stuff until I can kill it. So I make better weapons, and that was my Amazon Alexa going boop. So then,
yeah, Alexa, calm the fuck down.
so I
Alexa's like,
want to get into more.
Bitch,
of
don't
it.
tell me what to do.
I do want to get into more of it. There's I just need to learn how to kill stuff in it. I know how to mine. I know how to do everything else, but so far killing stuff. Because there's where I've spawned seems to be like some sort of goblins on one side, and then when I'm going into the desert, I'm finding friggin' demon flying things that try killing me. The safest thing I found so far is a turtle.
Turtles are pretty safe.
The only issue is if I hit it, it will kill me.
Sounds like pretty safe then. If it.
That's if I hit it. I can
never
sit
heard
there.
of a retaliatory turtle.
The easiest thing I found to kill is a crab, but I need to kill a wolf, and they don't seem to be on their own. There's always more than one.
Oh, group tactics. They know how to defend themselves.
They knew the game gave me that quest, and they thought, we'll stick together, we'll kill him every time.
Yeah.
But it is meant to be a like proper Minecraft. You are meant to be online with other people, but I am running a single player at the minute.
Ah, right. Doesn't feel like it takes the difficulty down though if you're on your own. So.
Oh no, but even if you're on with someone else, I think it'll just be like Ark or something. Everyone will be with their own little friends, and if you're not good enough to get into their thing, it'll be we'll kill you ourselves. But yeah, that's literally, apart from what I normally play, like Dungeon Defenders, bit of Rainbow Six, that's basically all I've done different this week.
Fair enough. Fair dues.
Speaking of that Rainbow Six, Stefan and I found out that the Year 4 pass is on sale, and we're probably gonna look into getting that for ourselves.
Okay.
Because we
Cool.
love that game, and I've enjoyed my last annual pass.
Well, I've enjoyed Rainbow Six since getting it. I got it at the end of Season 1.
Okay.
I've enjoyed it. I think it's one of them games which... I tend to burn out games where I'll play it constantly, and then by the end of the month or middle of a certain month, I'll just go, I'm bored of this now, I need something else. With Rainbow Six, it's literally a game every, say, week, or every few days, or every 2 weeks. You'll have good gaps in between, and it's like, it makes the game feel more new every time. But,
Okay.
I just remember Rainbow Six, playing weekly. Yeah, it's
to
a
summarize,
nice refresh.
Rainbow Six, good. Year pass, get.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm getting that. Getting it when I get paid.
Esports scene still alive.
Is it?
Oh, is that a sequitur?
Yeah, it was actually. Thank you.
Segue.
Yeah. Esports scene for Rainbow Six is still alive, which is more than can be said for the Heroes of the Storm esports scene.
Wah wah.
Yeah.
Wow.
In the long line of Activision forcing Blizzard's hands into making stupid decisions news. A couple of nights back, Blizzard are basically looking like they're getting ready to sunset Heroes of the Storm at this point by doing the first thing that developers do, which is move all the people on a project off onto another project. So there was a post on the official Battle.net Blizzard website stating that they're taking developers off Heroes of the Storm and putting them onto Diablo projects, mobile, more World of Warcraft stuff, StarCraft, basically anything that's not Heroes of the Storm, and also putting basically stating that the Heroes of the Storm Global Championship and what was it, Heroes of the Dorm, the weird college to professional gameplay series that they were going to do, not happening next year. Which is sad news. When you basically stating that your project's not working very well and you're needing to look at other avenues. That's a shame. But could you at least do us a favour and tell the esports teams that we're preparing first?
Yeah, some people seem pretty upset about that. I can understand why.
Yeah, I mean the ones that the story that I'm looking at the moment is Jason Schreier's Kotaku article on it, but there are a lot of other opinions based on it. I mean, look at YouTube; there'll be tons there. It's just bad. Not even. I mean, the first time that the esports teams were aware of of these leagues shutting down was at the same time as Joe Public. You'd think you would probably let people know before breaking it to everyone, but
It's a really shitty thing because it's like Blizzard. I think has been like the company above all companies that has worked most hand in hand with their esports community. Like ever since the days of StarCraft. Like old school like Brood War StarCraft. They've been hosting and aiding and sponsoring their esports scene for so long, and from what I can tell, people have been pretty happy with the way they've handled their players and their community.
I mean, both in the first party sort of main leagues that Blizzard do themselves, and then supporting the third party events.
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest attractions to BlizzCon these days is the half a dozen global finals that they host for all of their games that they have, everything from StarCraft 2 to Hearthstone to Heroes of the Storm.
WoW Arena, it's like and I mean, you're probably with me on this one. It's just like just to basically just shit can the thing with no sort of ability to prepare for it is a bit of a poor move.
I mean, esports is a tough rub in general. It's just like you spend you could spend as much as 60 hours a week in some cases practicing this game and trying to be the best in the world at it. And to have that and to not know just how long your skill set that you spend that much time is going to be relevant, not knowing when your game is going to stop being popular or get canceled altogether, or is tough enough, but to just be dropped like that, just out of the blue, it would be really tough. It's not easy to transition when you're an esports person.
No, that's the thing. Yeah, something let's say it won't happen for a while, I reckon. But a CS:GO player, for example, they could just sit there, be playing that for years, and then suddenly, imagine if Valve turned around and just said, we're stopping all support for Counter-Strike, and we're going to shut the servers down, and we're not going to let other people host third-party tournaments. I mean, that would kill.
Valve. Not to like make light of this subject that's obviously serious, but like Valve would be like the one company where if they said that they're shifting their resources to a new project, everyone in the world except the esports community would be like, "Oh my god, what?"
Yeah. It's like, "Oh my god, Half-Life 3, finally!"
Yeah, and the esports community would just be like, I guess I'm annoyed, but I get it.
But it means if it finally comes out, sure.
Yeah, when it comes out, I won't have a job anymore. I won't be able to afford it. Catch-22, man.
This is just, like I say, it's just a long line of what looks to be a whole bunch of Activision overrulings of how Blizzard's working. It's just, I mean, especially when they say, "Oh yeah, we're moving people onto other projects," and it's like, no, okay, so the implementation of microtransactions in the new Diablo game, then, yeah? Is that what you're moving people over for?
I assume so.
Yeah.
I'm sure the esports community would love to hear that. It's like, all the people who used to work on this are now working on this mobile game that nobody wants.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, it's gonna suck, and we just hope that it does. Now the sports guys, can just hopefully get themselves sorted. Maybe just see if it is possible you can get someone like ESL or one of the third-party tournament organisers to try and at least keep it going until Heroes sunsets. But yeah, it's just going to be a shame. But we'll move on there, because I haven't got any other better way to segue into this one. But some humans are idiots. That's
tell me.
Yeah, so this is...
Well, that seems like a fair segue. I mean, we were just talking about, Activision Blizzard.
Being idiots.
Yeah. So we'll move from Activision to EA, and this one is not actually EA's fault for a change.
See, Activision Blizzard, when they do something wrong, we're I mean, I was gonna say we're not mad, we're disappointed. We're a little mad, but mostly just disappointed. EA, it's more like it's a whole different story.
Yeah, it's just like again, But yeah. So as we mentioned, or as I very briefly mentioned, due to legal rules, I played the Anthem closed alpha. That's about as much as you're ever going to get from me, because this is going out on YouTube and on podcasts. The whole thing. Don't share the shit.
Played it and everyone died.
Anyway, move on. That rule didn't enter the thick skull of a Twitch streamer. Not a very popular Twitch streamer. I mean, more popular than us. He's got 5 more subscribers than us. But then again, we also don't have a streaming schedule.
My 16-year-old sister has more subscribers than we do.
Well,
I don't even think she has a YouTube channel.
But yeah. Anyway, so this fool, by the username of Smoke Throne, yeah.
Yeah, you're off to a bad start when you're talking about a guy with a name like that.
Yeah, it's second up from XX420 Stream All Day.
I think the triple X and 420 underscores are all implied in there.
Yeah, I would say so. But the fool knew he was not supposed to be streaming the alpha for Anthem, but was doing it anyway.
It's an idiot fault.
Yeah, he was on there. He was in his channel where he had his 5 mates who was sat there sending ASCII codes of penises in the chat.
What all fans need to do.
Yeah. So he did that, and EA caught wind of it, crashed his Origin. The Anthem Alpha Access removed from there, and according to him, all his Origin games as well. I say according to him because there isn't really much proof that that's the case. There is a video that shows, in 480p resolution, shows him flicking over, looking at all his games library, that shortcuts for games that won't exist on Origin. A lot of them weren't Origin games anyway. The only one that was actually on there was
FIFA?
Was Anthem. Oh. Yeah, that was the only one on this desktop. This is, of course, without the fact that I think, Steph, you tried to see if you could find the video of him streaming this, and it's not there anymore, right?
All traces of it's gone, even with the what channel was it called again?
Well, EA is probably working pretty hard to make sure that content stays off the internet, considering what they did in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah,
you could still let him use it. Just blur the whole game out. Just watch him fail.
Yeah. Again, like I say, there was all these websites popped up about the streamer while messing up and streaming the game he shouldn't have done, then defending him against EA for removing all his Origin games. Now there are a couple of sources
Twitch
on the
removes everything else.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Twitch have also stopped his account as well, so he's losing out more than he's actually succeeded. But
what if EA didn't actually mean to remove his library, and they were just like they just saw him streaming, and they just started panicking? It's just like, which one is the game that he's playing? Which one is just get them all, bop, and just push the big red button.
Just hit that button.
So yeah, this is the thing. You make a very valid point on that. But here's the other question: what if he never had a library to begin with?
Ooh, conspiracy
Which
theory?
is, so like I say, there's a couple of sources on there, particularly the one from YouTuber that I follow, Sid Alpha, who has come up with the theory that he just made a burner Origin account and knew he was looking to stream this and was just trying to get a bit of a 15 minutes of fame with his leaking of Anthem information.
Oh, so you think that? So it's interesting.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I mean in Sid Alpha's video he explains that a bit like Steam, when you complete achievements in Origin games, particularly EA Origin games, you'll gain achievement points and lists of the achievements that you get. Now he states that they're on a different server to the server that contains all the games. So if the games were actually removed, he would still have the points and the achievements for the games that he now wouldn't own, except that he never had any achievements or points on the system. And this is so he's on the idea that he's provided just a burner account and just knew what he was doing, and and still failed. There were other theories that apparently there were links to like EA games that he had as well, but they weren't obtained legally. But that's unconfirmed.
Well, I think it's not the worst case scenario if they remove his library of games, because when you agree to NDA and you're gonna break it, you literally can go to jail.
Yeah,
simple as.
Yeah, legal proceedings can continue because you are signing a legally binded. I mean, sure, you're not putting your actual signature to the paper, but you are agreeing to a legally binding contract.
Yes.
Shall we say, that states that you're not supposed to be giving any of this information out. I'm being very careful that I'm not actually, with the fact that we're, like I say, this is going out on YouTube and the internet. I'm being very careful of not actually mentioning what, has been done. Mainly, maybe it's overprotective of me, but I just don't, I don't want to fuck this up for all of us.
You don't want your account wiped.
We don't want to accidentally breach the NDA.
Yeah, no, exactly. So, that's when being careful about saying it, but yeah, if you're going out there for the sole intention of leaking the information, you're an arsehole.
It makes you wonder, I mean, if we want to go full tinfoil hat on this, it's like, what if he did this all on purpose and made it look like EA removed his entire library so he could create a narrative and turn the internet against EA, like he needed help with that.
Yeah, so EA can fuck themselves up on their own. They don't need this.
They don't need the assistance.
In this case, this is the one. Yeah, this is the one case where they haven't actually, currently at the moment, done anything wrong. So
I have to admit that's rare for EA.
Yeah.
It's normally they're the ones in the wrong straight off the fucking bat.
Yeah. But well. Like I say, the guy's an idiot. And I
guess it's probably been a while. It's been a while since EA was like portrayed in like a sympathetic light.
Yeah. But we'll see how it goes.
Perhaps we'll have a follow-up next week to see if more truth emerges from this shadow of ambiguity and unanswered questions.
And then that extreme cloud of weed smoke that apparently is there as well. So
the throne of smoke.
Yeah, the smoke throne.
The Game of Thrones was just all about like weed and vaping.
Game of smoke thrones.
Only it's like the entire kingdom. It's like it's illegal to smoke except for the people who sits on the throne. That's why everyone wants to be on the throne.
Would the throne just look like a pack of cigs then instead of a fucking?
It would actually be made entirely out of pot. Anytime you wanted to smoke, you just grab a little pinch of it, roll it up, and go to town.
Wait, can't that be their crack pipe they sit on instead?
That would be not comfortable.
Wait, the White Walkers, they smashed that ice pipe.
Technically, I guess now I think about it, the throne in Game of Thrones is not a comfortable seat. They actually emphasize that very heavily in the books, from what I've heard. That it's very uncomfortable to sit on. It's all pointy and stabby.
I wonder why they made it load of swords.
A burden bearer. Anyway, yeah, we will move to the very, very last one, a very quick one before we wrap this up, because it's only going to take about 20 seconds. Speaking of idiots, this is the one that Steph put on from the Daily Dot. I know it's not really to do with games, but it does with tech and Google, and, we're on YouTube and stuff.
I read this morning, and it kind of made... I was like, oh my god, Google just made my day.
So this is from the Daily Dot, and it just says, Google CEO tells Congress why searching idiot results in images of Donald Trump. Yeah, it's just like, there's a load of quotes on there just explaining.
After reading that, Google then annoyed me, by the way.
Oh.
Because I wanted to use their they put in their new streaming service for gamers and shit like that. They want it testing and all the rest of it, but they're only testing it in America.
Oh, that sounds like everything Google is or Alphabet now, as they are, has ever done, particularly with YouTube. You know how long it took us 18 months for YouTube Red to come over here, and by the time they did, they renamed it YouTube Premium, and then seemed to be bloody shuttering the service.
Oh, every time I open YouTube, it's, do you want to sign up? No.
No, I'm good.
No. If I were to sign up for it, I'd have done it by now. Go away. But I was going to happily stream for an hour and then get a free game.
Okay.
Because they were going to give Assassin's Creed out. Seeing that was the game, that was one of the games they had up for stream. So you could play that for an hour and then you'd get the game at the end of the whole beta test thing, whatever. And then I clicked on it, it was US only. I was like, you bastards, why are you putting it in... The better thing is, I think the website I got that from was a .com one, but I found another one which was an English website promoting it, and it's like, why? Why is an English website promoting this?
Yeah.
We can't do it.
No,
unless I want to really crack the system down and start pinging myself around.
Yeah. But,
by the way, the Donald Trump thing works.
Oh yeah, I already
definitely.
Know. I got people at work to do it.
I also love that because this news article has broken out, it's become even more severe.
Yeah.
Just the perpetual cycle, because people are now going to... It's like, oh, does that work? So they'll search for idiot, and it'll bring up the images related to the articles that they're saying, showing,
You know what would have been
idiot face.
You know what would have been a truly genius move? If what he said was a total lie, and but because he said it and because it became popular, it became true as like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, as people ever start googling Trump and idiot at the same time, and they start finding images of him.
But you think of it this way as well. Because of that article, and other people, like BBC News has put it up, the late night shows talking about it, Global News is talking about it, that just makes it even more plausible for it.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, self-fulfilling prophecy. It circulates. It's just this like snowball.
Oh my
effect
god!
that come along.
I clicked on images.
It's an international real life meme.
By the way, did you actually click on images, Duncan?
Yes.
Did you see? I've got one here where it's Donald Trump and he's made to look like the Pope.
What?
He's got the little Pope hat and everything.
Oh my god! I think I actually see that one.
It's like black and white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus. See, I was just having a lot of fun looking at this image. I'm just going to quickly post it into the Discord, and I'll explain to the people who are listening at home.
I looked at that
one. Yeah, it's a man with a saucepan on his head and a wooden spoon, just looking like he's about to wring his head into oblivion. Yeah. It was like, that's the other sign of idiot. That's the one we want to know. But yeah, I just thought we needed to end with that one because it's hilarious.
And on a light note, we always end on death and depression and the world sucks and the video game industry is going downhill but hey, funny Google
the light-hearted Google search. Yeah. What was that, Steph? By the way, before you.
I literally forgot what I said. But did any of you see the music video where they're doing the Not Me thing, but with Donald Trump and the who was looking into the Russians' influence over the election?
No.
Oh, no, I haven't seen the video, but I've heard about it.
It's goddamn hilarious.
Fair enough.
Best thing
Well,
is you can see Donald Trump. You could just picture Donald Trump saying, "It wasn't me. You didn't catch this. You didn't get this. It's all lies."
Fair dues. Right. Anyway, I will probably go watch that video. Yeah. So we will wrap that up. And for another week. So I am going to do this little Christmas light switch on that I'm going to do, just because. And thank you, Dariusz, Duncan, and Steph for being here. And to anyone who's listening, if you could please just do the likey, sharey, subscribey thing with the bell if you're watching this on YouTube. Or, you could subscribe to iTunes, make it a little bit easier for your ears that way. Or, tell your friends, tell your family that we exist.
Tell your dog, tell your cat.
Yeah, and, they can have YouTube accounts, they can have Facebook accounts.
Well,
But yeah, check out the Facebook and the Twitter accounts as well, because they're there. And Steph, have you got another suggestion?
Live long and prosper.
Ah, cool, yeah.
Proster.
Yeah,
Prostate?
prostate.
Yeah.
So live longer and cough.
Yep.
Turn your head off.
This may feel a bit cold, but cough.
Oh, no. Right.
Relax,
So,
I'm a doctor.
so until next week, please have a good week. Please don't kill each other, and we will see you soon.
And don't forget to hide the bodies.
Bye.
Wait, what? Yeah, laters.
See you later. Bye bye.